Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mulling League Spike Magazine Trophy. It's week number 3, and we got a bash up tonight. What do you call 4 games in a row? Back to back games. 4 games this evening. We're gonna get started with a bashy one tonight. We're gonna get started with the White Skull Windbreakers versus the Harlequins B.B.F.C. Doug the Minotaur versus BB Nut. Orcs versus Undead. Let's take a look at the standings. Quadruple header, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Currently in first place in Division A, Sunny's Oak Park, coached by Nick Satan. 2-0 is his record, a Lizardman team. In second, a Connect 4. We've got a Connect 4 tonight. In second place, the Real American Heroes, coached by Dead Fred. Sorry, I got distracted. The Real American Heroes, coached by Dead Fred. A Dark Elf team, 1-1-0 is their record. In third place, the Dead Poets. They'll be up tonight, I believe. S Beaver's Undead team, 1-1-0 is their record. Over in Division B, this is where we're getting started tonight. Doug the Minotaur's White Skull Windbreakers tied for first place. The Orc team 1-1-0. Tied with Venger's Mr. Yuck. A Nurgle team 1-1-0 is their record as well. And very closely behind in third place, Alphitus Australis Eric's Wood Elf team. Also 1-1-0. The White Skull Windbreakers are going to be facing off against 5th place Harlequins B.B.F.C. Newcomer BB Nut has not lost a game yet, has drawn twice, looking for their first win here in week number 3. And let's take a look at the home team this evening. The White Skull Windbreakers, coached by league champion Doug the Minotaur, coming in at TV at 1,490,000 gold. 13 players on this roster. Has the big guy, Pants Vomit Patrol. 4 of the big unblockers, those are the strength 4 players, 4 blitzers, a thrower, 2 linemen, and a goblin, 1 apothecary, 5 dedicated fans, and 3 rerolls. He's going to be up against the Harlequins BBFC tonight. BBFC, Harlequins BBFC. I just finished working, by the way. I had another meeting today, by the way. I had scheduled another meeting. It was earlier today, but then I had to go put out fires, so I couldn't attend the meeting. It's a different version of Frazzled. On Tuesday, I had a meeting while streaming. This time scheduled a meeting before the streams and then didn't even attend. So I think that's the way to go. The visiting team, the Harlequins BBFC, coming in at TV of 1,085,000 gold. 12 players on this roster, has 3 of the 4 ghouls, 2 mummies, 2 white blitzers, and a whole bunch of zombos. 2 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. Of course, you can't pick up the Apothecary, being an undead team, or more specifically, being a team that has regen. How are these 2 teams going to Move 09? Welcome to the stream. Nope, no Firebase key discussions today. How are the 2 teams going to play tonight? Well, 2 very bashy teams, and I think tonight it's going to come down to 2 main factors. The skill difference, not the skill between the players. We have 2 great rosters, 2 great coaches, but the actual skills on these players. So the skill difference and the TV difference. These are the 2 big differentials in this game. You can see Doug the Minotaur has been leveling this team up since the Chaos Cup. I can't tell if chat is even showing up. I don't know. Well, I'll see. But Doug the Minotaur has a ton of skills on this roster. He's been leveling it up since the Chaos Cup. You can see all these blitzers, they start with a block skill, but he's got guard on 3 of them, mighty blow on 3 of them, tackle on 2 of them. He's got block on turtle burp. He has the thrower, who's level 3. He has block and on the ball. He has block on barking backside. He has sneaky get on the goblin. Lots of skills, lots of very good skills on the right players here for the White Skull Windbreakers this evening, and you can often find it's very difficult to go up against that when you're a fresh team. Now the comeback mechanic, so to speak, in this game is the petty cash. So you take the TV difference between the 2 teams, and the underdog gets that money in petty cash to pick up inducements. SB Beaver said, did I miss the fun talk? No. You did not. To pick up inducements. And he's getting a massive, oh, I calculated this. It's about 420, somewhere around there. 400, it's over 400K in petty cash. That's a lot of petty cash he can pick up. He can do a lot of things with that. A wizard's always on the table. He's up against a sneaky git, but doesn't have a sneaky git himself. So maybe, I don't know if a bribe's the right option. Maybe. But star players, right? You have enough money to pick up star players. Doug the Minotaur is exactly right. He does not have access to Mort. He does have access to a guy. You'll have to forgive me. This is my 10-minute overview of star players. So maybe my opinion's a little off here. But he has access to a star player called Ivan Deathshroud. Ivan the Animal Deathshroud. This is a white blocker. This is the Blitzer, right, for the undead. He's a Blitzer with a strength of 4. He has Strip Ball. He has Juggernaut. He has Disturbing Presence, and he's only 190K. That is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic in my opinion. What a powerhouse. What a beast he is for the price. I would be very surprised if BB Nut does not pick up Ivan the Animal tonight, and a wizard. I think a wizard's only 190K. Yeah. Isn't that stupid? He also has access to another star player. I'm not going to suggest he get him. I don't think he's worth the cost, but Bryce the Slice Campbell. He has access to Bruce Campbell for 130K. I'm sure he won't pick him, but I hope he does. So I think it's going to be the Strength 4 Blitzer and a Wizard tonight. We'll see what BB Nut decides to pick up. But 2 chainsaws, really? I still don't think it's worth it, but I still think it's a cool piece. Judge Dredd says, why wouldn't you take the greatest movie actor of all time? Right? You should. Except I think he's bad. But otherwise. So, Doug the Minotaur has a lot of key skills. He's up against this fairly fresh undead team that doesn't really have the skills to compete skill to skill, right? If you take one piece and you pair it up against another piece, chances are the orc piece wins. So what BB Nut needs to do is he needs to leverage the inducements, meaning he needs to really consider what he wants to pick up. Again, I think Ivan the Animal's a good pickup. I think a Wizard's a great pickup. And then figure out how to use those to capitalize while playing a very deliberate, very tactical game of Blood Bowl tonight. Positioning is going to be absolutely key for both of these teams. BB Nut really wants to make sure these mummies stay in the drive, and that's going to mean a number of things. I think he does not want these mummies to go and base these blockers, for example. These blockers have a strength of 4, and look at all this guard that Doug the Minotaur has. 4 plus guard, that's 5. That's a 1 die already on your mummies, and with those mummies get knocked down, remember they have an MA of 3. All they're doing on the next turn is standing back up. So he needs to be really careful where he positions those mummies and try to leverage those mummies with that mighty blow to try to get a player advantage, to try to control the pitch as well. Doug the Minotaur is going to understand this. He's going to go after the high dollar pieces. He's going to go after those ghouls. Those 3 ghouls can be a nuisance against this team. They have a MA of 7. Doug the Minotaur's fastest speed is 6. If he can get a ghoul, he'll get a ghoul, right? If a ghoul is exposed, he'll go after the ghoul. He has the sneaky get. I have to imagine he'll foul the ghoul as well. And so BB Nut needs to protect those ghouls as well. This means that BB Nut needs to know where his pieces are on the pitch at all times and where he needs them to be. And he needs to understand, of course, being a game and all, that Doug the Minotaur is going to try to make him take actions out of order. He's going to say, oh, all right, you want to save your Minotaur? Well, now you got to roll this 3+. Minotaur. Mummy. Now you got to roll this 3+. Oh, you want to be safe? Well, you better throw your ghoul in there to protect somebody, and now I'm going to go after that ghoul. So it's going to be a very tactical game tonight, and I'm here for it. These are some of my favorite games, right? When you have 2 great coaches, 2 great rosters, and 2 very different angles of attack for both of the coaches. It comes down to strategy, it comes down to tactics, it comes down to fundamentals, and that's what I love about games, man. I love seeing how people approach that and come out on top. Again, the Harlequins B.B.F.C. looking for their first win in this competition. Doug the Minotaur, of course, in first place, looking to keep it that way. Hey, action! actual Blood Bowl. All right. All right, here we go. Yeah, so BB not picking up Ivan and a wizard, exactly as predicted. Picked up a keg with that extra money there. There he is, Ivan, the animal death surround. Here's the coin toss. White Skull Windbreakers are gonna win the coin toss, and they're gonna set up on defense to start. I really don't. I know a lot of people like it, and so you kind of have to have it. But like, I don't like single player modes in games, like in competitive games. Like, so like in a fighting game, they'll have like big elaborate story modes, unless it's like Mortal Kombat, where it's actually like it's really cool. Like, I don't care. I never do it. Street Fighter 6 has this really elaborate like world tour mode. I've never loaded it up. I load up the game, I go right to ranked matches. right, yeah. Like I know a lot of people like that stuff, but boy, my eyes just kind of glaze. I'm just like, I don't want to do this. I don't think I ever finished the challenges in Blood Bowl 2 either. Maybe I did. I can't remember. What's called Windbreakers on defense. 3-man defensive line here. Pulling in tight, giving up those wide zones. And now the Harlequins B.B.F.C. They have... What is this? I don't know what this icon is here. BB Nut says the Tekken has a story so bonkers you have to play it. I love to. I've been having a blast playing Tekken 8. I've also not done story mode in it. I played Tekken 7 a lot. Never once did the story mode in Tekken 7. I think the last Tekken that I actually spent any time doing that sort of thing was like Tekken 3. Here's the kick. Harlequins will be able to get one of these ghouls under the ball. Failed to pick up, but that's all right. That's basically a free roll that he gets. Turn 1 now for Harlequins B.B.F.C. They're going to get a push against the left defensive end. Judge Dredge says, I like the MK 11 and 12 ones as well. Are basically telenovelas where the main characters get their spines ripped out. Yeah, man, like when it's so next level like it is in those NRS games, then I'll do it. Although I say that, and I bought MK1 when it came out. I'm not really an MK player, and I haven't launched it. I haven't launched it since I bought it. But I did have a lot of fun with the MK9 story mode, MK10, or MKX, I guess, story mode, and MK11 as well. Gotta get the POW on the blitz. On the right outer linebacker there, gets a knockdown. Failed the ball pickup again here. Spent the team reroll this time. Worked out. It's three rolls it took to pick that ball up. Went for the foul on number 3. Didn't get anything out of it. And that'll be turn 1. Turn 1 now. Coming up for the White Skull Windbreakers. Oh no, he decided to fireball. Saw a target of 7 players and got 1 stun out of it against the troll. I was hoping nothing will be kinder than that. Spent the fireball here on turn 1. But Nuffle said nope. 2-9 black belt on the right side here, gets a POW. Oh, did he? So you got nothing out of it? Cool. Boy, busy day today. Busy day. BB Nuts said I knew it was done, but 5 players could have been epic. I mean, it would have been epic. We, in season 1, I think it was, there was a dwarf team that had a lot of TV built up on a runner. And they came up against a wizard, and a fireball killed that runner. And that was like, it was something like 30%. It happened to be SPPers team. It's like 30% of the TV gone. Repositioning here for the defense. Turn 2 now back to the Harlequins B.B.F.C. They have the ball on their own 14-yard line. Two-die block. Has to re-roll this. Rolled double skulls or double both down results, but Blitzer did not have, I'm sorry, the Mummy did not have the block skill. We talked about this in the pregame. This is going to be a big problem for this team in this matchup. Keeping those Mummies free, keeping them grouped together. Gets a pow on Stoker. Gets a knockdown, doesn't break armor. Tough to break the armor on these orcs. And now the ball's going to move up to the Harlequin zone 4-yard line in the right wide zone. BB Nuts setting up the pocket around the ball carrier. And now going for that foul once more. 2 rushes on this foul. Gets a stun, does not get called off the pitch. Pretty good stun there. Takes a 1-die, gets a push on Turtle Bird. Turn 2 back to the Windbreakers. Not afraid to use his ghouls in this manner. And this is a skill you have to learn as a coach. Like a lot of new coaches, they might, maybe they pick up an undead team and they say, oh, my ghouls, they're really brittle. I learned that lesson. I'm going to keep them all the way back here. And that's just players you're not using. So you have to know when to get your players in there, when it makes sense, when to maximize your die rolls. Stands up the troll. Pants Vomit. I hate that name. Pants Vomit stands up, gets back on the line of scrimmage, is marking the number 5 Mummy, Alex Donbrent. Shifts the safety over. The one who smelt it's going to shift over to the right. Trying to get in front of this ball. Shifts over Bull Snort as well. SB says, now that my Mummy has block, he's too valuable to risk. I'm going to leave him back up. Leave him in the backfield. Has to re-roll the double skulls here. He'll get the knockdown on number 10. Can't break armor. Gets a chain push out of it. 2 pretty bashy teams here, so you'll see lots of contact, lots of marks. There's an injury. Mighty blow at work. 2 points of SPP for the Cavs. Well done by the Windbreakers. Both down result works out. I mean, I would have been injured too if I got punched like that. There's no shame, guy. Louis Lina, there's no shame. Turn 3. Back to the Harlequins now. The defense trying to close down on this offense. As I was saying, you'll see lots of marks in this game. And you'll see it kind of go back and forth. The undead team being the team without, or at the skill disadvantage, meaning that the opposing team has a lot more skills. Skills like block, skills like guard. It's really going to have to be a tactical game here where the Harlequins set up their pieces to try to maximize their die rolls and keep the ball safe. So you can see he's keeping these mummies grouped together. They're effectively a strength 6 in this regard. Of course, they don't have guard just yet, so the assist could be negated. But when you're talking about strength 5, usually nobody's going to go up against these mummies unless it's another big guy, right? Like this, like the troll. Because if you think about it, average strength is 3, and you're going up against strength 5, so it's a 2-die up-down. You need 2 assists just to make it a 1-die, and 3 assists to make it a 2-die. So that's 4 players that you're tying up on a single piece, and that's often not worth it. So if there's a tie-up on the mummy, it'll either be the troll or probably just a single piece trying to keep that mummy where he is. Double skulls here by the Windbreakers. Another reroll spent in turn 3. They got the pal over in the right wide zone. They're down to 1 reroll for the half. B.B. Nut, by keeping these mummies grouped together, he's maximizing their strength. And these mummies' big advantage, other than the obvious mighty blow, is that pitch control that they have. That high strength and no nega traits means that you can roll dice on them all the time. Almost. At least you're not having to make the kind of decisions that you're making, say, with an ogre. Old Gamer Mike says, undead are slower than I remember. Yeah, they're not super fast, but they're not super slow. And that's why the ghouls are so valuable on this team. They're MA7, which is great. And you can have 4 of them. B.B. Nut has 3 already, which I think is fantastic. And you can really, you really get a lot of leverage and a lot of options with these ghouls. 2-die blitz moving around the offensive line to take a block on Joe Gray, the right tight end here. Right tackle, actually. Nope, right tight end. I try to be like so specific with the positions as if it matters. As if at some point I'm gonna say like, oh, number 4, he's an ineligible receiver. Doug the Minotaur, you can see, keeping this defense in check. He knows he's up against a running team, and so he's trying to keep this defense in front of the ball, in front of the run, trying to cover as much of the pitch as he can and not get super duper aggressive. He's harassing with these pieces here, trying to apply pressure, hoping that inevitably it's gonna force the offense to make a mistake. Ball on the 4, now shifting laterally to the left. Both mummies in front of the ball carrier. Danny Kerr, the number 3 ghoul runner, in front of the ball carrier. Now a tight cage on this ball carrier. It's going to happen eventually. 2-die blitz. We'll get the knockdown here, thanks to taking the block with Ivan himself. Ivan the animal. Death Shroud. Andre Esterhazen, the number 7 blitzer. He's going to come in on the right side of that cage so that the back left corner can come in for the foul on Bull Snort. Doesn't get anything out of the foul, but doesn't get called off either. I really like these fouls. I think this is these are good tactics here. When you're up against a really hardy, really strong team with high armor value, often that's your best way to remove them, barring a surf. Final third of the first quarter coming up here for the Windbreakers. Doug the Minotaur now getting very aggressive on this cage. He takes a mark on the right side, takes a mark on the left as well. Just one reroll for each team. In the game of Blood Bowl, you get a certain number of rerolls. You have to pay for them. They're part of your staff. They cost half price while your team is fresh. In other words, if your team has not played any game, you can get your rerolls for half price, and then after that, they go up to full price. That price is different from race to race, from team to team. And so often you will see coaches try to get those rerolls right at the beginning. There are certain teams that might give up a reroll for a key positional because it's just that important. But for a lot of coaches, they want to get them early so that they cost half price. I mean, expensive rerolls in this game are 70K, and if you're talking about the difference between the 70 and 140, that's a whole player that you're paying for. One die block gets a push here. SB Beaver says, you need to max out your team rerolls ASAP, correct? No. Old Gamer Mike says, what else seem to be hard with cash? Yes, very much so. Their players are very, very expensive. They're great players, though. I mean, they're really good. Wood Elf linemen, right? Your linemen are typically your players, and maybe they are the worst players on a Wood Elf team, but they're still great. And they're 70K. But if a Wood Elf team gets beat up early, they can often find themselves in a death spiral where they're just not earning enough revenue to replace their dead and injured players. 3-die block with the troll gets a pal here. Good setup for the 3-die. Second quarter begins now. Harlequins B.B.F.C with the ball on their own 2-yard line. They're going to start the turn with a 2-die. They got a pal out of here. They're going to knock down barking backside the injured lineman. Second quarter of the game, ball has yet to cross the line of scrimmage. That's perfectly okay. Remember, those ghouls have an MA of 7. So in 2 turns, they can move 14 spaces. There's 13 spaces from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. So they could make it from the line of scrimmage to the end zone with no rushes in 2 turns. Yes, indeed. Yep, you can buy Journeyman at the end of the game. And then, of course, if you purchase them, they'll naturally lose the loner nega trait that they come with. What just happened there? What just happened there? Did he not want the push? Ah, misclick. Fair enough. Fair enough. Happens to the best of us. Turn 5 for the Windbreakers. Double skulls here. He can take the both standing result, and I think he will. Yeah, he doesn't want to spend that final reroll for no reason. And now 2-die block. Gets a knockdown on that star player. That big strength 4. Ivan the Animal. AB9 is pretty average. Oh, if I had a nickel for every time I've misclicked. Oh, you know what? I forgot, man. I'm such a dummy. I do have my game. I have my game as an actual video. So you're going to find out how much of a nerd I am here. So this is a practice I learned from fighting games. I will often save my matches so that I can go back and rewatch them, right? Like watch the tapes, right? Rewatch them, see what I did wrong. Because you get a different perspective as a spectator than you do as a player. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure everybody understands it, unless they haven't played a game before. But for whatever reason, when you're playing a game, your thought process is different than when you're watching it. So I've made it a habit to record my games so that I can rewatch them to try to learn from them. Anyway, the point of this is that I recorded my game, and I could have played that. I could have played the video. Ah, what a dummy. Windbreakers repositioning this defense here to try to cover the offense that just shot out to the right. Gets a POW. And sorry, gets a POW on Joe Marler. Windbreakers are going to need to keep somebody in the secondary at all times just because the Harlequins have the speed advantage. Turn 6, 3 turns left for the Harlequins. Remember, from the position they're at right now, they could score in 2 turns. Two-die block against Barking Backside. Got the pal here. Scott Baldwin, who I'm sure is not one of the Baldwin brothers, but I'm going to assume he is. Cool blitz. Two-die blitz on the one who dealt it. We get the knockdown. Well done here. Looking for looking for a 10 plus. And then rushes in position to mark behind the one who supplied a good mark here by the Harlequins. Trying to carve out some pitch here. This ball is gonna move down to the 8, maybe the 10. Big 3 plus dodge. Okay. Or the 12, 14, 16, 18. Well done to open up that hole there by the Harlequins. Very well done. Carved out the side of the pitch. This mark was a key mark for that. Took a mark here, shot the ball this way. Good offense. Turn 6 back to the Windbreakers. They are now on the back foot. This is what he was afraid of. I should be recording these. I mean, I guess I am, right? I should be rewatching these games to learn something. Takes a mark with one cheek squeak over on the right side to get the 2-die block against Danny Kerr. Gets the POW here, or gets the knockdown, looking for an 8 plus. 7 with, oh, it's a dodge push. I got excited. It's a dodge push. 2-die block over in the left wide zone, gets a POW. Oh, Brookheimer. Got a KO, well done. We'll see if that KO sticks. Action here. The Windbreakers are trying to figure out how they can get at this ball and stop the score. If he can't stop it here, the best he can try to do here is to try to get 2 turns out of this. Yeah, so he's going to spend the reroll there. Takes a mark on the ball carrier. This is a bug. He'll snap back here in just a second. There he is. Look at that ball. Gets a push of Marcus Smith, and now is marking the ball carrier from the front. Marcus Smith still going to have a positive dodge away. No tackle in play. Eric Lionheart, welcome to the stream. Oh, the drawings came back. Will the deaths come back too? I hope so. I mean, okay. I mean, there's. Wait, wasn't there? Oh no, that was in my game. I was like, wasn't there a death already? Nope. No, there wasn't. Did I block now on Scott Baldwin? Gets a push out of this. Turn 7 for the Harlequins. They have 1 reroll left. Gonna try to blitz away. Oh, the blitzer. Have to re-roll this. Got the push they were looking for. Well done by BB Nut. They're going to go ahead 1-0 in this game. Very well done. Well played by B.B. Nut. Took his time, opened up a hole, and then shot those very speedy ghouls. Down pitch to score. Harlequins B.B.F.C. in the lead 1-0. Gave that reroll for when it mattered. The Windbreakers to set up their defense now. They're gonna. I'm sorry, not the Windbreakers. I need to pay attention. The Harlequins B.B.F.C. to set up their defense. This is the first of 4 games we're going to have tonight. After this game, we're going to have Nevagana versus Juxtaposed Juggernauts, Chime versus War Horsemen, Orcs versus Chaos Renegades, and then following that game, Rodentia versus Mr. Yuck, Spire versus Venger, that's Skaven versus Nurgle, and then we're going to close out the evening with Street Fighters Turbo Max versus the Dead Poets, Ian versus S. Beaver, that's Chaos Renegades versus Undead. Harlequins with a very wide defensive line, and all 8 players very far back. About midway between the end zone and the line of scrimmage here. They need to keep these players mobile so that they can get to where they need to be in the 2 turns that the Windbreakers have to score. Harlequins unfortunately didn't get back their KO'd mummy, but they'll get another opportunity to roll that die at the end of the half. On the ball gives you an extra 3 points of movement when you're the kickoff return team and when there's a pass. Good pickup here by the Windbreakers. So on the ball here, not only gave them 3 extra points of movement effectively, but gave them an extra opportunity to grab this ball. Now, first roll of turn 7 will be a push against the right defensive end. No re-rolls for the Windbreakers. I made a pizza for lunch today and it was fabulous, fabulous. I made it, made the dough, I mean, I didn't like grow the tomatoes or anything, but it was absolutely marvelous. Two-die blitz in the right wide zone here is gonna get the knockdown on Wilco Lowe, the number 12 zombie lineman. Looks like Doug the Minotaur is going to try to run this ball down the right sideline. Good stun here with Mighty Blow. Decided to follow up, taking a mark on Danny Kerr, the number 3 Ghoul runner. There goes the ball. The ball is now on the opposing 4-yard line. See if animosity gets everyone? Of course he does. A thrower with animosity toward everyone. Takes a mark against Scott Baldwin. Left linebacker here. Trying to take some marks to prevent people from getting in, to prevent defensive players from getting in on this ball here. He needs a turn that's clear. Gets a knockdown on the line. Joe Gray, the left defensive end, knocked down. Plenty of time left on the bonus clock for the Windbreakers. 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Good 3+ dodge. The mighty blow blitzer. Repositioning players, taking marks, takes a mark on that, on the number 4 mummy here, Joe Marler. And then gets duck call into position in front of the ball carrier here. Doug the Minotaur now with the ball on the 4. Currently exerting these tackle zones here. Final reroll spent by the Harlequins. Harlequin? Harlequin. You ever have those days where you say words and like your brain and your mouth aren't in sync? Like every time I say something tonight, it's almost as if somebody else is saying it. It's very weird. Good rush by Ivan the Animal. Takes a mark on Joe Marler, trying to keep him out of the drive. Closing off the sideline as well. 2-die block back to the left, gets the knockdown. So the Windbreakers here, they can't score with the thrower. It's he's too far away. He can score with these 2 players. Maybe this one as well. Yeah, he's got 3 players he can score with. So you can see the Harlequins trying to shut out the scorer over here. Oh, rolled into a skull. That's going to be a turnover. Big loss here. Now the Windbreakers have an opportunity to open up a hole and try to tie this ball game. They've got a couple of ways they can do this. Going for the handoff, got through the animosity roll. Good catch. The ball's in the hands of the one who smelt it. Going for the blitz, so it's going to be 2 rushes to score. Got the pal. Blitz to the surf. 1, 2, he's got it. Well done. B.B.F.C. Incesticide, welcome to the stream. Yes, indeed, we do have a Discord. Yeah, you can go hang out in our Discord, and I can give you a reminder if you like for when the next competition starts. So we're gonna get through the Spike Magazine trophy, and then the next competition will start, and it's open to anyone. So when it starts, I can just give you a shout and tell you how to sign up if you like, and welcome. Good score by Doug the Minotaur here to tie the ball game up at the end of the first half. Took the blitz to get the surf, made it 2 rushes to score, got into the end zone. Well done. Yeah, not a problem at all, BB Incesticide. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for wanting to play. Windbreakers in tying this ballgame at the end of the first half here. And now they're going to be on offense. This puts them in a very good position to try to win this game. They're going to want to stall this out till turn 16 if they can. They're going to win 2-1. It's going to be the Harlequins' job here to try to crack open the offense, try to crack open that cage, get at that ball, and recover it. Sector's Loop, welcome to the stream. No, I didn't say that. Well, you know what? Maybe I did, as I just said. The words coming out of my mouth don't match up with my brain. So maybe I did say that. Ah, BB Incesticide, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Here's the kick. Shallow kick by the Harlequins. And now on the ball, being used again Oh, but the Harlequins get a solid defense. We'll see if they reset their defense. They probably won't. Indeed, they don't. They probably won't. And now the Windbreakers on offense set up a 10-man line for the Windbreakers. 2-dive block, get things started. It's going to be a knockdown. Got the injury. Man, what a way to start. Start this half. Oh, BB&S aside, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just, you know, we love this game. We just want to share it with people and show them how cool it is and play this super awesome game. Gets a push out of this third block. First block of the half gets the casualty. That's 2 SPP. Oh, well, thank you very much, BB&S aside. I appreciate it. Windbreakers with the ball on their own 8-yard line now. You can see the value of on the ball there. Even if there isn't a pass, even if you're not up against a passing team, those 3 extra movement on the kickoff return, huge. 2-dive blitz in the right wide zone, gets a knockdown and will go low. Will not follow up, does not break arm rate. One-man player advantage for the Windbreakers now. Both teams back up to 3 rerolls. Once again, plenty of more PB action here this evening. We have 3 more games to play. Coming up after this will be Nevagana versus Juxtaposed Juggernauts. That's Orcs versus Chaos Renegades. After that, we have Skaven versus Nurgle. And then after that, we have Chaos Renegades versus Undead. BB&S said if on the ball was random, that's awesome. If not, I think plus MA is better. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not sure if it was random or not. I didn't actually do the math on the player before the game. But I should have. Often I do. 2-dive blitz. Harlequins deciding to keep their defense intact. Matt Simon's going to remain knocked down. Another removal here for the Windbreakers. 2-man player advantage now. Sorry, I think it's a 3-man player advantage, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. 3-man player advantage. Windbreakers. Looks like they're trying to carve out this right wide zone again. Taking marks. Trying to pick off Matt Simons here. So a common tactic you'll see in Blood Bowl, right? You have a piece here. Your opponent will try to mark him here. And say mark him here. Or some variation of this. And now this piece, it's kind of stuck, right? Depending on the strength and other factors. And if that piece is stuck, it's now out of the drive. So if the drive's happening over here somewhere, this guy is not helping. Of course, it means that 2 of your pieces will be tying him up, but eventually one of those pieces can go away. Ball's going to cross the line of scrimmage now. The ball on the Harlequins 2-yard line in the right wide zone. Turn 10 for the Harlequins. Start off with a mummy blitz. Oh, I just realized they didn't get back their mummy again. Nuffle, why? Nuffle, why? Spends a reroll here on the blitz. Gets a push out of it. On the center. Marking backside. Repositions to take a mark on the troll. 1 dive block on the one who supplied it. Gets a push here. Now takes the uphill on the troll. Works out! Well done by Andre Esterhazen. Look at that. Got a stun out of it, too. Yes, sir. Somebody has a Nuffle altar in their home. Well done. Perfect block. Got a stun out of it as well. Well done. Takes another uphill over on the left wide zone. We'll get a push out of this. This is another skill that newer coaches have to learn. It can be a tough one to learn, is when to take the uphill block. A lot of newer coaches, they're like, no, I'll never take an uphill block ever. And you got to break yourself of that habit, because sometimes it's, right, you have to think about, like, what is the cost versus what is the gain. If the gain could be huge and the cost is minimal, then it stands the reason you should take that risk. Two-dot blitz into double skulls by the Windbreakers here. They'll re-roll this into a dodge push against Marcus Smith. Saw a great talk by Dr. Richard Garfield. He's the man who created Magic the Gathering and many other games. And the talk was espousing something that I've always valued in games with dice and chance elements. A newer player to Blood Bowl might look at this, see a bunch of dice, play one game, throw a bunch of dice, and go, it's a random game, right? They'll say, it's chucking dice and it's random. It is not. And yes, there are random elements to it, but the game provides enough agency for better players to win more consistently. And the reason why luck plays an important factor in games like this, Dr. Garfield was mentioning, like, think of a game like double skulls here. You'll have to re-roll again. Windbreakers down to 1, re-roll for the game. Think of a game like chess that doesn't have an element of chance to it. Right? You end up with sort of standard opening moves, standard... Players start to map out the decision trees. And new players in particular, or even not new players, but any player at any point in that decision tree tends to get stuck in a strategic rut, right? You do a thing, it fails, and you don't know why, and you do it over and over again. What games that introduce elements of chance tend to do is force you to change your strategy. And the really good games, the enduring games like Blood Bowl, that's been around for decades, allow better players to plan for that contingency, right? They say, well, let me do something that makes my die roll safer, right? And you can see this in very simple ways, such as when a player, for instance, will move players into position to protect the ball before picking up the ball, right? And you can see this in more complex ways as coaches get better and better, as game states get more and more complicated. And that's something I really like about this game, is that you could set up the quote-unquote perfect play, and then you roll quad skulls. But, if you're a savvy player, that's not necessarily the end of the game for you, right? You have a contingency, or you made that safe in some way, where, I rolled quad skulls, it's not what I wanted, but the ball's still safe, or I still have options. And that's what I really like about games like this. They force you, they demand that a player try something else when something fails. And so you don't get stuck in a rut. You try a different strategy, and cool things can happen, and you learn new things, new tricks, new ideas. Turn 11 now for the Harlequins. Their team trying to be shoved aside by the Windbreakers, but doing a pretty good job of staying in formation, staying on this ball, but they are down 3 players. Yes, indeed, B.B.F.C sets aside. Oh, good jump. Good jump over the one who smelled it for the blitz. Rushes into a one-die blitz. Gets the knockdown. And a KO out of it. What were we just saying? Unbelievable. Well done by the Harlequins. Great play to jump over the prone player, rushes into position, gets the knockdown, gets the removal on the ball carrier. Very well done by the Harlequins B.B.F.C. Turn 12 now for the Windbreakers. Two-man player advantage now for the Windbreakers, I believe. Two-die block against Matt Simons. Gets a POW. I just like it when Kemry's able to pick the ball up at all. Gets a KO. Another removal here. Harlequins running out of players. But boy, are they putting in the work with the players they have. New to this version of the game in BB 2020. It is 2024. Maybe I should stop saying it's new. But you can jump over prone players. So in the old version of the rules, in the LRB6, prone players basically ate up a spot. You couldn't move through them. Now you can. It's a die roll, as we just saw, but you can jump over prone players, which opens up movement options. Gets the POW against that blitzing run ghoul, looking for an 8+ here. Vengeance for the audacity to blitz. Gets a stun. It's a good stun. Clypheus, welcome to the stream. Two-die block against Joe Marchant. Marchant. I'm gonna go with Marchant. And now three-die block against Joe Gray. Gets a knockdown here. 9+ breaks armor. There we go. Two-die blitz on the star player. Ivan the Animal Death Shroud gets a push here. Final turn of the third quarter coming up here. The Harlequins, after that great blitz, find this ball protected by two orcs. They're going to take a block on barking backside, and they're going to get a knockdown here. 9+ with Mighty Blow. Doesn't get it. Both standing result here into a one-die block. Gets a knockdown on the one who denied it. Pushes onto the ball. The ball's going to scatter back to the 10-yard line. Now turn 13 for the Windbreakers. Like he says, man, that's a lot of removals. How many out for Doug? One? Bashy game, as we predicted. Windbreakers have more players on the pitch, but there are these pesky undead all over the place. They're trying to push them out of the way, get back onto this ball. They're gonna get the POW on Ivan the Animal. They don't break armor. Finally fails the really stupid test on the troll. That troll has now lost its action and its tackle zones. This is a pretty significant loss here for the Windbreakers. We'll see if the Harlequins can capitalize on this. They'll take every lost piece they can get, even if it's just for a turn. Turn 13 back to the Harlequins. Wow, one dive blitz by Danny Kerr yet again to push the ball out of that scrum. Spends the reroll. Boy, oh boy. What a play. Pushed onto the ball. Didn't have a better opportunity to get that ball out of this scrum. Ball's gonna fumble out of the hands of Turtle Burp and recovered by Danny Kerr after the reroll. And now the Harlequins on defense in possession of this ball on their own 4-yard line in the right wide zone. That Google runner is going to be the recipient of a blitz. But first, some blocks to take. Knockdown on the number 6 blitzer. I love how after that knockdown, the troll clapped. It was like, yeah, you go, Turtle Burp. The Windbreakers started this half on offense. They've just lost the ball. They have the player advantage. They're going to go after the number 3 runner. Here we go. 2-die blitz. Dodge push is all he'll get. Oh, he's got tackled. Oh, he's got tackled. Turns out he got a knockdown. Ball's going to bounce to the 8-yard line. Danny Kerr knocked down, but still, crucially, on the pitch. Positive dodge on that ball, unless the one who dealt it was forward. He did. Now that's a mark on the ball. Two-die block against the star player, Ivan, the animal death shroud. Gets knocked down again. Ivan basically out of this drive at this point. Two-die block against Andre Esterhazen. Gets knocked down here as well. Breaks armor. Got a KO. That'd be intensive care. 3+ pickup works out. And now the Windbreakers recover this ball. Back in control on the 14-yard line of the Harlequins B.B.F.C. Two-die block gets a push. One dive, blitz, a pow! What? 4+ to a 3+ to a pow! Oh no, the ball's gonna scatter out of bounds. Where's it going? Oh, Nuffle, you have a sense of humor. Wow! Holy moly! Four plus dodge to a 3+ dodge with no rerolls. One die blitz got the pow. The ball is gonna bounce out of bounds. And now it has been thrown back in by the crowd all the way back to the line of scrimmage. It's on the Windbreakers 4-yard line now. Just outside of the left wide zone. My goodness gracious. Turn 15 for the Windbreakers. Oh, man. Yes, I am. And now the Windbreakers, Doug the Minotaur, having to think about how to recover this ball and score. He has to end this turn in scoring position. He is currently, but he really has to think about who's going to do the scoring. If Danny Kerr is not MVP, I think I'm going to need to go into the admin tools and make him the MVP. No, I'm just kidding. Two-die blitz on Danny Kerr. We'll get the knockdown here. Can't break armor. That's right, not dead. Two-die block gets a pal here. Signor Slips is kidding. Depending on the bribes involved. Gets a knockdown on Joe Marchant. All right. 9 seconds left on the clock, but 3 minutes, 10 seconds left on the bonus clock. The Windbreakers, 2 rushes to pick up the ball. Good pickup by the one who denied it. This is the Mighty Blow tackle blitzer. Now the ball all the way back on the Windbreakers 4-yard line. Gets a push on the Animal. Ivan the Animal going to remain on his feet here. Under 3 minutes on the bonus clock for the Windbreakers now. They have 1 reroll left for the game. The Harlequins have none. Good knockdown on Joe Gray. Needs every knockdown he can get here. What a game this has been. 1-1 the score. Windbreakers trying to win this game. Harlequins trying to prevent that win. 2-die block on the lone remaining mummy here. Gets a knockdown. Good knockdown. Remember, these orcs, one of the things added to orcs is this negatrait, this animosity. So you can see the blitzer has animosity to all teammates. So if he tries to do some sort of pass type thing, a handoff or a pass, to I'll have to roll a d6 on a 1, he's just going to snub his nose at his teammates. Be like, you know what? No, you're not getting the ball. So that is always a risk for the Windbreakers here with the ball in the hands of a blitzer. The one who smelt it in scoring position in the left wide zone. Turn 15 for the Harlequins. Stands up the mummy to take a mark. Standing up that player means somebody's blocking him, and if he's blocking him, he's not moving. Oh no, failed the rush! Failed the rush, didn't have the reroll to spend. Here it is, turn 16 for the Windbreakers. They have a reroll. Let's go. Here's the handoff, has to get through the animosity roll. Did it, 3+, a rush will win this ball game. He's got it, well done by the White Skull Windbreakers. 2-1 the score. There's going to be one more turn unless there's a timeout. My goodness. What a score. Look at him celebrating. Look at him celebrating. PP Nut makes a good point. He picked up a Bloodweiser cake. That mummy, I think he's faking it. That mummy has not come back on the pitch all game long. That's a 3+ for the KO roll, and it's had five rolls. I think you need to fire him, or at least have a talk with him, because I think he's faking it. I think he's faking it. 1 turn less in this game unless there's a timeout. The Windbreakers with 3 on the line. Everybody else screening out the end zone just in case. Here's the kick. If there is not a timeout, I don't see how the Harlequins score. Ball's going to scatter in extra space. It's going to make it a touchback, but I think that's it here. The Harlequins are going to lose this one 1-2. Well played by both coaches. My goodness. My goodness. B.B. Nut and the Harlequins really went in hard there on defense here in the second half and almost made it happen. Doug the Minotaur was able to recover this ball and score. Player says, when does the next game begin? It is scheduled for 8 o'clock. I think we're not going to cut the stream. I think what we'll do is we'll just put up like a be right back screen, and then we'll kick over to the timer at the usual time. And that's the game. Well done. Really well played by both coaches. That was an absolutely fantastic game. Wow. White Skull Windbreakers winning this 2-1. And after week 3, the White Skull Windbreakers are going to remain undefeated. They're 2-1-0 and currently in first place. My goodness, that was a great game. That was a great game. And we've got 3 more tonight. Coming up next in about 50 minutes, we're going to have Nevagana versus the Juxtaposed Juggernauts, Chime versus War Horsemen. Again, it's coming up at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so it's UTC -6, so about 40 minutes from now. And then that's Orcs versus Chaos Renegades. And then following that game, we're going to have Rodentia versus Mr. Yuck, Spire versus Vinegar. That's Skaven versus Nurgle. And then we're going to close out the night with the Street Fighters Turbo Max versus the Dead Poets. That's Ian versus S. Beaver. Chaos Renegades versus Undead. 3 more games in Thursday Night Blood Bowl coming up in just about 40 minutes. What we're going to do, I think, is we're going to keep the stream running. We'll keep the stream running. We'll just have like a be right back screen for about the next 15 minutes, and then after that it'll kick over to the normal like stream beginning countdown, and then we'll have our pregame 10 minutes before the game starts. If you're unfamiliar, we have a pregame 10 minutes before all the scheduled start times, and we just go over the rosters and how the 2 teams might play. Man, this was such a good game. My goodness, and 3 more to go. All right, we're gonna take a break for 15 minutes. Grab yourself something to eat, something to drink. Come back here for some more Blood Bowl. We've got game 2 of 4 coming up in about 15 minutes. We'll see you then.